Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to a special edition of Fat, Furious, and Effed. I'm your host, Mike Rendino. Of course, I'm calling this a special edition, but in reality, all of my editions are special because I'm special. Woo-hoo. All right, anyway, just want to give you a quick broadcast update on my life and everything else going on so that you can all sit back and watch this when you have time and realize that maybe your life isn't so bad and you're not in quite the train wreck that I at least perceive myself to be. So we'll get started here. I think to start off, I want to dub this specific episode Irony because there's so much going on, as everyone knows in the world. And when I started this blog, I didn't really want to get into our national crisis of the COVID, racial tensions, political, and all that. But that's all anyone and everyone seems to be talking about and hung up on. So I guess I need to throw my 2 cents in there on that. And we'll kind of go from there. So, irony. With everything coming out, the scandals, Cohen, who was, I guess, murdered in jail. I didn't even know anything about the guy, honestly. I'll start off with that before the broadcast. Like most of these people that think they're something rich, powerful, whatever, I don't know anything about them. Maybe you guys keep up on the news and updates more than I do, but I thought I was pretty trendy and up to date. I mean, I have Twitter now, Facebook, Instagram. I have general alerts through my apps for local, national news. So, and some of these people I never even heard of or knew what was going on until like Netflix does a special or there's like a huge to do on the news. So I just want to start off with irony and this whole Black Lives Matter thing. And before people get all upset or think they're going to get upset by what I'm going to say, I'm telling you all straight now, this is from my heart. I am not a racist, never was, never will be. I'm saying this from my heart because I think this is for all of our benefit, that people need to hear this and listen. This whole Black Lives Movement thing, it's great, that people are out there standing up for something, but a lot of these folks are doing it for the wrong reason. Most of them don't even know why they're doing it. They're just getting paid by somebody who's getting paid by somebody who's getting paid by somebody who's getting paid by somebody like Michael Moore or an executive of CNN or NBC. I'm just speculating here, but whatever. It is what it is. People know what they're doing. It's all over, the news, media, blogs, you name it. And I'm going to say that the whole Black Lives Matter thing is BS. I'm calling it as it is. I'm sorry, hate me, whatever. If you can't love and respect everyone, including yourself, then you won't get love and respect. At least not from me. All lives matter. Not black lives, not just white lives, not just Puerto Rican or Asian or Middle Eastern or whatever. Every single life on this planet matters. At least to me. Some of you don't feel that way. Maybe a lot of you don't feel that way, and that's fine because we all have our views. I'm just here on my blog, if you want to call it, my podcast thing, doing my thing, and I'm going to say it how I feel it needs to be said, like it or lump it, So anyway, the Black Lives Matter stuff, this whole, white people on their knees praying to black people. I think it's all staged. Not to say people aren't doing that, but I'm just embarrassed if they are. Not only for myself, but for them. Whether they're coerced, being paid, or they're just legitimately doing this for attention or some kind of guilt or remorse. Look, slavery ended hundreds of years ago. And I'm going to hit you guys with a little bit of truth because I'm telling you right now, I'm a avid researcher and reader on our history, our global history. Slavery, predominantly, since mankind started, and even to this day, is a Middle Eastern African practice. It's not a white practice. It's not a Spanish practice. It's not a Chinese practice. It came from Africa and the Middle East. So if you want to hate somebody, and I'm not saying you should, but you start by digging in, to these countries and their history and getting your facts right. White people abolished slavery here in the U.S., which set England off and other countries to ratify, outlaw slavery, as it were. I'm not for it. but I can tell you that every single race on this planet has been enslaved at some point. And you don't see the rest of the world bitching about it. So I'm going to say pull up your britches. There's nothing anyone could do about anything that happened 200, 300 years ago or more. And get back to your lives, man. And, work, crochet, blog like I am. Do something constructive instead of being out there part of the problem. Make yourself part of the solution. Another term I hear coming up, the silent majority. For my outspoken self, I consider myself part of that. Like the silent majority and what that means. And talking to other people lately, and these people are, people are getting fed up. The silent majority are the ones that work, pay the bills, pay their taxes, do what they're supposed to do, so the other people can have and live their rights, and freedoms. And the silent majority, as they call them, are getting tired of the BS, the media, and they're going to start acting up. Yeah, we're seeing small groups across the country of people that are going after, like Antifa, these Black Lives Matter movements, and this and that. Now look this is really BS, and I hate to say this, and I'm not advocating or anything like that, but if shit keeps going the way it is, we may end up in another civil war, and I don't think anybody wants that. Americans today, especially myself, have been too used to the comforts and take for granted the life that we have here in America. We really do. And if we go down this path that we're going, if we continue down this path, things are going to get bad. You think we have food shortages, logistical issues like getting toilet paper, basic soap, and all that now? Wait until something really, really bad happens. A war, another pandemic on top of something, or God forbid, our alleged enemies, North Korea, China, and Russia, when they see that we have splintered and fractured enough here in the U.S., decide to invade and attack us when we're probably most vulnerable. All I can say at that point is, if anyone ever looks back on this, I told you so. I told everyone so, just like a few other people have. This isn't rocket scientist. This isn't rocket science, but I'm an analyst by nature. I collect data, and I can see all the stuff going out there, all the hate. And if you think that people aren't out there in large groups collecting multiple sets of data on every post we do on some type of social media format, you are dead wrong. You're going to end up on the winning or losing side if you keep going with your posts like they're going. And I'm not talking about you, my subscribers, or anyone. I'm just saying in general. When I say they or we, it's just general. It's a generalized statement. There are people behind all of the hate, racial issues, and everything else going on. And whatever their agenda is, we all just need to take a step back and try to diffuse it as best as we can. I'm hoping people want to diffuse it. Who knows? Maybe a lot of you want a war. Maybe you all want to fight and kill each other like we did during the Civil War. Brother versus brother, father versus son, cousin versus cousin, etc. Maybe that's what we need. I don't know. I don't want to be a part of that, but I see that coming if things don't settle down at some point. We keep perpetuating. At least I can say one good thing out of this. At least Facebook has been more quiet lately. Either people are blocking or just not posting stuff on there. There are a few that are, and it is what it is. Everyone has their own opinion. That's what social media is for. But at the same time, wouldn't it be nice if we could all just come back together? And all I could think about is the 80s, how much I loved and missed the 80s. Everyone and anyone that was around back then and had any, sense of self or like memories, recollections of the 80s, you remember there were good times. People were free. We got to do more. The TV was awesome. MTV came out. That was awesome. And it wasn't about black versus white or white versus black or whatever the case may be. It's like for once in our lives, we had one decade where a lot of the hate, the racial animosity and that disappeared. It's like we were one. The videos were coming out, the breakdancing, it's like, we're hitting a golden age. Then all of a sudden the 90s come around, things are like, A little better maybe. I mean, not as good as the 80s, but they weren't bad. And then all of a sudden, 2000, Y2K, and all hell breaks loose. Next thing you know, we're on a technology boom, and people are becoming antisocial and hating on levels that I've never even seen before. And I just sit here and I think about it day after day. I'm like, what's going on? What happened, in the last 20, 30 years that caused this rift in our society? I don't know. Maybe you do. But needless to say, I'm just asking everyone to take a pause. I need to do this more than anybody. Just because, just by my nature, I definitely get myself amped up at times watching some of this, and seeing people being attacked that shouldn't be, businesses burnt down that shouldn't be, and all for what? Because a couple people with some money and power and influence and control over a news outlet or media says, "Oh, this person's bad," or this group is bad. I'm like, come on. It's like the recent thing here, the companies boycotting, changing labels on things, saying, "Oh, Black Lives Matter," blah blah blah. And I'm not discounting Black Lives Matter, but again, my stance is that every life matters. Every single life matters. Doesn't matter if you're male, female, somewhere in between, black, white, blue, yellow, brown, red. Who gives a shit what you are? It's the person that you become and act. That's how I judge people. I look at character, not the color of their skin. And I know there are a lot of other people out there that feel the same way. But now let me go back here for a second to Trader Joe's. Man, they're always on the hot seat for something, selling contaminated product, bad products, this and that. Now they're saying they're taking off a taco label off some of their boxes, their tacos, because some freaking teenager in California said it's offensive. I'm sorry, but that's a brand thing. You know what? If you're going to do something like that, then you are a freaking racist, Trader Joe's, because people have to brand themselves. Mexicans have their own identity. Italians have their own identity. Americans have their own identity. South Americans, Central Americans, Canadians, Europeans, Africans, Middle Eastern, Asian. We all have our own unique identities. And if you start taking that from people, in my mind, you're practicing the very definition of racism. So you need to chill with this shit. All of you do. NBA, NFL, you guys, nobody even watches sports anymore like that. I mean, I just about tossed out all my sports jerseys and hats and everything except one. It's just so ridiculous. You guys are getting paid to play a game just like people in Hollywood. You're getting paid to act like another person. It doesn't mean that you're special. Yeah, you get millions of dollars, you get to sit in your house, and you essentially have slaves of your own working for almost nothing, probably doing, your every bidding, back and call and whatnot. But anyway, because my time is running here, sorry. So my rant is, think about what you're saying and doing. It's everyone for everyone. One for all for one. Cheesy Musketeer saying whatever. It works, it holds true. We are all here and we all affect each other. So moving on to getting into irony here at the end of the segment. Irony. Taking off the Dukes of Hazzard that has nothing to do with any type of racial slavery movement, nothing. As far as I can recall, all the episodes I used to watch of the original Dukes of Hazzard, I never even seen like a fake bottle of moonshine on that show. So they have a Confederate flag painted on the top of a car that the Duke boys drive. Big freaking deal. Can I tell you about all the shows on TV, like with Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock and all these other actors that are white this, white that. Every other word out of their mouth is the N word. That white people can't say. I'm like, why not? Hello, it's in the dictionary. Look it up. It's not a black person word. It's not a white person. Like I tell people, words only words only have power if you give them that power. If you believe, that a word's offensive, then it must be. Me, I'm just the kind of person, I could just shrug it off, call me anything you want. Wop, guinea, redneck, redskin, honky, cracker, whatever. Doesn't mean anything because I know inside who and what I am. And all of you, hopefully, all of you adults will as well. and pass that message on to your children, your friends, your family. It's not about one specific race. It's about all races. We're all humankind. We're all going to live together or we're all going to die together, and that's going to be that. So anyway, going back to the Duke boys now, and I apologize. I have no script here. I'm just kind of winging stuff as I'm going. I'm not Jon Stewart or somebody famous from Saturday Night Live that has a team of people writing for me. These are just my thoughts as I come out with them and think of them. And it's just what it is. So it's unscripted. It's real. It's raw. I don't cut anything. I don't edit anything. I wouldn't know how to, even if I wanted to. So anyway, the Duke boys, they were taken off TV, criticized, ostracized, or whatever. Had nothing to do with slavery. If anything, they always promoted a good message every week. Now here's where the irony part comes in. I was watching Sling earlier, one of the apps, the streaming apps on my Roku. 184 episodes of Bill Cosby is on there. Here's the thing. Yes, he's black, but so what? The thing I'm getting at with Bill Cosby, he was convicted on how many counts of rape, attempted rape? I think it nearly bankrupted him if it didn't, just going through the whole court process and the damages he had to pay out. But it's okay to show him on TV, to stream him, but you're going to take something like the Duke boys off, or like edit Gone with the Wind, or whatever the stupid, insanity, ideas that people are coming up with. People are just freaking nuts, man. One last thought here, and I just want to say to everyone out there, fans, subscribers or not, you hate me, you love me, whatever, all lives matter. I'm going to keep saying it again and again. All lives matter. You don't see a specific white TV entertainment channel, WET or whatever, like white entertainment, like you do BET. I mean, black people get their own television shows, so do the Latinos and Spanish, and that's all great. Good for them. They should have had something years ago. But however, how are you going to disparage on one group when you're trying to become the undisparaged in your mind? Think about it. It doesn't make sense. You're going to sit there and cry about something instead of really trying to make a difference, a positive impact, and do something about it. Anyway, that's my message for the day. Irony. Fat, Furious, and Effed. I will talk to you guys next episode, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. Take care.